welcome back. Now, as you'll see from the title of this video, we are taking the MX5 drifting today, but as part of that I wanted to show you a little bit more of a behind the scenes look at what marshalling at a drift day entails. For those that won't know, I marshal for the drift days at Santa Pod Raceway, Brung. I'm only going to show a part of this because we'll be here all day otherwise. I'm just going to show you what I did for the day. So first part of that is parking. As you can see, we are bringing everybody into park. Now we put the trucks and trailers on one side, individual cars on the other side, just to keep the pit lane nice and straight. As you can see here, I'm making sure that everybody park a good width apart from each other, just to make sure that people don't take up too much room than is necessary, and just to make sure that everybody behaves themselves, that sort of thing. Everybody's got to be responsible with the amount of space that we've got. When we have a fully sold out day, we don't have enough space for everybody if they spread out in the way that some people do when they initially park up. So we just make sure everybody's bunched together, and once the day begins, most cars are out of the pits for the bulk of the day anyway, so it's not like nobody has enough room to park. And that's pretty much it. The only other thing that we do of the morning is we make sure that we tell everybody all the relevant information, so where to sign on, what time briefing is, that sort of thing. We round everybody up, make sure they get down and get their driver's briefing before the day starts. And then for me, I was driving in the morning and then working in the afternoon. First laps of the day, cars mostly won. Let's see how we get on. I'm not expecting spectacular things today, especially considering it's raining, and it's been raining on and off all morning. A few showers, track is damp. Currently I expect it to dry up pretty quick, but we'll see how things go. But let's check tyre pressures and get ourselves out on track. Both of the rear tyres were low, so that might have been why I was struggling out at curb run a couple of weeks ago. Right, let's see. She works. Oh, now I'm dizzy. One of the benefits of being a marshal is being able to join what they call the VIP queue, meaning that I can basically get more seat time in exchange for doing the work this afternoon. So it means that I don't have to join the queue with everybody else, which is helpful in getting my fair share of seat time, essentially. First laps of the big track. See how this goes. And take it easy, ignore the top corner where the blocks are. Try not to do anything stupid. The last thing I need to do is break this, but we'll see how it goes. Right, start with a sighting lap. See how well she goes. Yep, not surprised. Yep, still not surprised. Something's going on here. fast enough. It's not going well for a first lap. I don't know whether I'm not catching it, it's not centering properly, or what's going on, but there's something with the setup here that I'm not happy with still. Damn it! No. Okay. Doing the same thing, expecting different results is a definition of insanity. Let's try something else. Playpens, figure of eights, donuts, that sort of thing. So let's try and do some figure of eights in here and see if I can build myself back up. I think I'm out of practice. I think that's my problem here. Okay. I can do this. I've been doing this for fucking years. Spins you out quick. Okay, I need 5 minutes because I'm not getting anywhere and I need to cool the car down. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. The transitions are catching me out. Now I'm not sure if this is the diff coming unlocked, but I don't think so. Obviously this is a different chassis compared to what I've been driving previously, so obviously the handling characteristics are different, so maybe I just can't throw it as hard as I have been through the transitions or something along those lines, but whatever I'm doing currently is not working. It seems like it's stopping mid-rotation, as it were. So as the steering wheel's going lock to lock, it feels like it's stalling in the middle, and that might be what's catching me out. Yeah, see the steering's switching between light and heavy as well. So I wonder if that's electric rack problems. Yeah, steering wheel pause there, I felt it. I feel like I'm getting there. It feels like I've got to keep the power on, I've got to keep the revs up. Obviously, rotaries have no torque, so they do need to have the revs kept up high. And I suspect part of that is that's where the power is and that's where the torque is. so let's give it another go and keep the revs high. Yeah, there's something going on with the power steering too, because this is now suddenly extremely heavy. So I think what I'm going to do is unplug it. It's an electric rack, it's currently not working, so to make this consistent I think I'm going to unplug it. Yeah, see, now it's back. And I also think I might have done my tyres in already. Yeah, see, now the steering's gone again. Yeah, so whatever's going on... Oh, it's roasting in here. Whatever's going on, I think it's power steering related. Power steering unplugged, because it's electric on this. New set of tyres. And a little less pressure in those tyres as well, because aside from the fact that they're a bit narrower, 215 instead of a 225, I'm wondering if I don't have enough grip. So let's have a quick spin in here and let's find out. That feels loads better. So I don't know whether that's power steering or tyres. I suspect power steering, but let's take it out to the top track and try her again. I think some of my issues are definitely me being out of practice. That's without a doubt. Right, let's see if this feels any better. Can't feel worse, that's for sure. Oh, that's definitely heavier. Oh. Okay, yeah, definitely need to get used to that heavy steering, Jesus Christ. Whoa! That could have been worse. So, I've just been talking to my friend Ryan, and he reckons because I know it's rubbing on the wing at the front, but he reckons because it's binding on the wing, that might be what my feeling of over-centering is. So what we've done is we've firmed up the front suspension. We're going to try again and see if that makes any difference. It should obviously help with body roll and stuff like that, but we'll see if that helps. Grabbing at the front, but better. Okay, that's new. still grabbing at the front, but I think that's me. To full lock and I'm just keeping it there. It's definitely better. Maybe I'll go a couple clicks firmer on the next one. I don't know whether the car's getting better or I'm just in the groove. Celebrated too soon. Times better, come on! Firm the car up a little bit more, see if that helps a little bit more. We might end up on full hardness, but we'll see. But I think I'm definitely going to have to raise the front. Still catching me out. transitions, 100%. I'm not fit enough for this. Let's go. Overconfident now. We've gone full hard on the front to see if that helps. But I think a lot of this is just me being out of practice now. Oh, that front suspension is really firm now. That was always going to happen. Okay, so I've just come in to firm the suspension up, and I think some of my problem is the wheel on the inside at the back is hitting the lower control arm. So there's clear tire marks on both sides. This side is worse than the other, which means my wheels either need spacing or I need narrower front wheels, and that's probably part of my problems. Yeah.
All the scrapes.
I've also got no power steering, so this is super heavy.
Yeah,
which doesn't help.
More challenging.
Yeah, I need to make a bracket for that too. I've got a list. This is such an underrated chassis. Yeah. The engine, maybe not. Come on. Yeah. And now it's warm, if I just rev it, it'll just pop flames.
He's such a child.
Yep. But every pop is a big flame. This is probably going to be one of the last laps before lunch. Should get some marshal playtime at lunchtime, so we'll get the track to ourselves and I can get a little bit more freedom to try some different things. What are you doing? Go on then. God damn it. Let's let this 1 Series come through. He's much faster than me. Oh, that's a lot of smoke. I'm getting too tired now. And I've done my tyres. Lunchtime as a marshal for a little bit of extra seat time in exchange for working. We get to drive at lunchtime. And what we are allowed to do is to run the track backwards. Now the reason we're not allowed to do that normally is because the sound resonates off the big steel building over there. And then the local village can hear it. Because when we run in our regular direction, they can't hear it, so this is the best way to run. Well, this is the only time we can run in this direction. And it changes the track completely. Because instead of starting as a hairpin and sort of slowing down, or speeding up, so I should say, up to the top corner, you start with the top corner and slow down. My job for the afternoon was cone duty, so I am trackside for the top track, making sure that the cones and the curbs and everything are in place. As people make mistakes and hit things, you know, that's natural, it's part of a practice day. Cones, curbs, things get knocked out of place. We get debris occasionally where cars bump into each other or body parts fall off and that sort of thing, headlights, whatever. We just make sure that the track stays clear of debris, and sometimes tyre carcasses get left behind where cars delaminate and that sort of thing, and we just have to make sure the track stays clear and keeps running. What you can see here is one of the other guys who was doing the finish flag needed a comfort break, so I took over from him, and this is just standing in the middle of the track, making sure that you're nice and visible, flags nice and high so that the cars on track can see that the session has ended, make sure we bring everybody in, and then it's my responsibility to make sure that every car is off track before signalling whoever's on the start line that the next session of cars can be let out, and we just make sure that the track's clear. You can see here there's one car, just a little bit of a straggler, probably finished a set of tyres and just slow coming in. Another part of being trackside is looking out for cars that have problems. So in this case, the PS13 you can see at the back of this 4-car train, their back box had come loose. It was just hanging on by the exhaust hanger. The bolts had clearly come off at some point. So I radioed down to the start line and just asked them when this session of cars comes in that they just speak to him, double check that there's not a problem, they can just reattach it. Here we had this white chaser. He lost all power and all drive, so it's just a case of, again, radio down just to get them to stop the session. I then radio across to Santa Pod themselves. They've got a recovery truck here, and then we just get this car towed back to the pit, safely out of the way, nice and easy, just a straightforward tow back to the pits. And that car did get back out on later on the day, so whatever the issue was, it was a relatively simple fix. Here I am doing wristband checks, so this is just to check that everybody who's in the car is signing on. This is part of the start line. It's just a quick check, make sure every driver and passenger has a wristband, they've all signed on, and they've all attended the driver's briefing. Once the person on the finish line has checked that everybody's come in, I can then let all the cars back out into go and wait for cars out to the session. Like I said at the start, the bulk of the day is taken up by moving curbs, moving cones, making sure that the track is still shaped like a track, because as you can see here, this is not a traditional racetrack. This is a large paved flat area and there is no track here. And as I mentioned earlier, tyre carcasses. This is a natural part of drifting. Whenever people run their tyres down all the way down to the cords, they can delaminate and come off in big chunks like this. And it's a safety thing for me to pick these up, drop them in the nearest bin, because these, if you run over this, you know, a lot of drift cars are quite low. You can easily pull that into one of the belts in the engine bay, throw a timing chair, a timing belt, something like that. Throw off an auxiliary belt and overheat and that sort of thing. So it's just better for everybody if we just pick that up. And it takes 2 minutes to do. It's not difficult. Piece of trim here from, I believe this was a BMW. I think the BMW logo on it. And it's just a case of pick it up, run it down to the entrance to the top track. There's another piece of debris there, and somebody can collect that at the end of the day. This was a little bit more concerning because obviously the car's pulled up off the track, a lot of steam coming through it from it, and a trail behind. So here I'm just checking whether this is oil or coolant. As it turns out, it was coolant, so that wasn't a problem. And it turns out the interior heater radiator had just popped, just from the excess heat from drifting itself. So this wasn't anything major, and the car was still running, so he could drive it off. As well as cones and curbs, we do have a few barrels out on track. The car ran a little bit wide here, collected 2 of them, and then it was just a case for me to roll and drag them back into place. Again, keeping the track together. And the cones and the barrels and the curves and everything are just so that people know where the track goes. Keep everybody going in the same direction. Another car pulled off track, this time an S13. Again, this was a simple breakdown. They haven't crashed into anything. He lost all driving power. And again, I did the same thing, radioed across to Santa Pod. They sent over one of their pickup trucks, and we just got him towed off the circuit back into the pits. And again, he made it out again at the end of the day. So there was no real loss here, just a little bit of downtime, just in the time it took us to recover the car. And that's it from this video. I hope you enjoyed the sort of behind the scenes side of marshalling for the track day. If you want to see more, obviously I can do more. If you don't want to see it, let me know as well. Just let me know in the comments, and I'll either include it in future again or exclude it. But the MX5 itself drove great when it was in drift, which was annoying because we had all sorts of steering issues. There's a few little bits to work on. Obviously, we know that the steering hits the lower control arm. I know that the tyre hits the arch, so I think I'm going to raise it. And then I need to do something with the steering rack. Now, my current thought process is to replace the entire steering rack and go back to a hydraulic system. The only thing we'll have to bear in mind there is there's no pulley for power steering on the RX-8 engine. So we'll have to come up with some other solution, potentially just an electric pump for the hydraulic fluid for a hydraulic steering rack. The MX5 steering rack, so the standard NC steering rack, should probably work for this because the suspension geometry is all the same, the rack's mounted in the same place, the tow rods and all that sort of stuff is all the same. So that's probably the best solution for that, and then combine it with an electric pump for the hydraulic system. So that's probably what I'm going to go with. Thank you for watching, everybody. Now that the car's working, we're going to do more of these. We're going to keep developing the car, and then hopefully we can get driving it more, pushing it more, going faster, that sort of thing. So if you enjoyed that, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.